This is Nicole from HotMod, and together we are
HotSpark.
So today we were going to have Niki.
We were going to have Niki on.
And what's Niki's background? She's not here.
She's a solo female influencer, or that's how we met. And then she moved back to Michigan and decided to live they call the sticks and bricks life again.
Like when they move out of an RV?
Yeah. And they go back.
Sticks and bricks?
Yes.
What's
if you live in a home, it's sticks and bricks.
Oh, like the wood frame?
Brick and stick. Sticks and bricks. And then she got a job with General RV, which is a huge manufacturer of not only like campers and RVs, but they do have other products as well that they sell. She works for them. So she has a unique perspective of working in the industry and like recruiting influencers, but also being an influencer herself. So we really wanted to have her on, but she's not feeling well.
Not feeling well. We'll have her on soon.
Yep.
But the thing we were going to do with Niki, I think, was we were going to go over, I just got back from Peru.
Right.
And we were going to go over the account, and we still are, the account for Peru, compare that against the local account for Cusco, which is the city within Peru, for Machu Picchu, which is, everyone kind of puts Machu Picchu on their dream list or whatever it is.
Yes, they do.
But we got sucked down a rabbit hole, and it's a luscious rabbit hole that we're glad it's not safe for work. So if you're at work, it's actually pretty safe for work. I don't think it's.
I mean, it's like safe for what we're used to these days, but it's kind of new to me because even though I've heard like AI influencers on the beat, like I've heard about them, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole of like checking them out, but you've found one that's real, that's making money.
Yeah.
And has multiple like streams of income actually from what I can tell from her accounts.
So what we found is this, and Nicole's full-time in influencer marketing. We're doing some projects with training influencers together. More to come on that. And everyone, I mean, it's biting. You say the word influencer. In fact, we were trying to do a workshop and we pitched it for coaches and people were like,
yeah.
And they were like, and we started talking about pitching it for influencers and everyone's like, of course. And we're like, same content. People are really into the influencer thing, we know. But this headline stuck out to me and I shared it with you. And it was an agency created an AI model who earns up to $11,000 a month because they were tired of influencers who have egos.
I didn't even read that whole headline. I just stopped at this AI influencer is making $11,000 a month. But wow, okay. So tired of influencers who have egos.
I mean, influencers don't have egos.
No, this just to me reads like they demand to get paid for their appearances, their likeness, and their work.
Well, like you've never seen like a sheet that was like, okay, also I need like green M&Ms. Also, I need.
Heck no.
Okay, that's just.
No, no, I haven't. No, no unrealistic demands. I haven't come across them. Usually that's not the case.
But here's what I wanted to call out. This is. I think. Let me ask. Do you think we'll see more of this?
Yes, definitely.
I think so. Because if you look, we checked out her account, and we're like, well, okay, so she's an AI model. She looks gorgeous. There's no way that's actually AI, but it is. So we brought up her account, and we're like,
176,000 followers.
It's only 60 posts
of really sexy images, though.
Yes, yeah, so I'm going to scroll this real quick. The interesting thing about this is if real influencer called out for not showing anything else.
There's no substance to this content.
No.
Right. This is just pure body.
Body image. Now, there are accounts like that.
Right.
But as I pointed out, okay, this thing they're targeting mostly hetero men, hetero gaming men.
Yeah.
And so then we saw the link tree and we're like, oh, well, let's check that out. And then we saw there's exclusive content.
Yes. She's definitely making money from, or actually the agency that created her is making money from.
So, I mean, we could talk about a lot of stuff. We could talk about ethics. And here's this account where, it's all blurred out, so it is technically safe for work. But there is, hotness, spicy, not safe for work content here. But as you look at this, do you think there's going to be AI influencers who do have stuff of substance?
That's what I was just thinking. Like we found her, but are there accounts that look more like a regular person? Maybe they even have like AI kids in it. Like it's a family account, but all of them are AI. I'm curious to see. We'll have to check that out.
Do you think? Well, in the 11, we were riffing that the $11,000 might be coming from this exclusive content. So this isn't like tourism boards or agencies hiring.
Right, because I guess technically she can't go out on the beach and create content.
But it's AI.
So they could actually get imagery of, say, Peru.
You could send a crew,
Right.
or have a local crew.
Right.
Capture stuff.
And then you place her in it.
I mean, AI is there.
Wow.
So, like, we should experiment with this. But before we came on, I asked Nicole, and I'll ask you again, how does this make you feel as being in the industry?
That I need to think of my own AI influencer.
That's not
What do you think? No, I mean, at first it irritates me because influencers are real people, and one of the biggest, what's the word? I guess majority of them are women creating a supplemental income for themselves, whether they're in college or they have a family. So it bothers me that this pulls away from their income and that's just making money or somebody top money instead of hiring a real influencer.
But influence work is on the rise.
Right.
It's taking up more and more of the market. What percent could this represent? Do you think this is going to be a visible percent of the influencer market, or it's hard to say, or what?
I think that
what?
I just wonder who these influencers are with egos, or if that was just their way of like rationalizing their budget cuts and being able to. I mean, they've made something where they can make money instead of have to really spend too much money on it. Yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's just more fun advancement of AI?
I think it's fair. I think it is fun advancement. I think what I'm learning, and in my space, folks, from a web design perspective, there's a thing I call the bullshit meter, and it's when people we had all these Midjourney, these AI photos come out, and these AI videos come out on websites, and what we're finding is that website users are already adjusting unconsciously. They can tell when something is AI generated, and there's a distaste for it. Generally speaking, I mean, there's a tolerance for it, there's a curiosity, but people can tell when something's not human, and we don't know what that is. Now, the AI is advancing, like this Daytona fitness model, as they call her. If you caught this in passing,
I would have thought it was real.
I mean, it's really hard. Like this one seems airbrushed and fake.
Airbrushed and.
But these seem pretty normal.
Right. You kind of have her in some casual
clothing.
Some of them have clothes on, so it makes her look normal.
So I think the AI will grow. I think it will grow in percentage to the rest of the influencer market. But if we've seen anything with AI, whether it's web designing or whether it's images or whether it's video, there's a limit to what the broader market actually wants.
Yeah.
They might tolerate it as a curiosity for a while, but eventually they're just like, I don't know if I'm getting anything real. And I think that's where substance and flaws. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember what some of the rumor of why TikTok took off at first?
No.
Compared to Instagram? The message I picked up at the time was TikTok took off so much because Gen Z and Gen Alpha were reacting to the perfectionism of Instagram with millennials.
Right.
And when TikTok came around, there was kind of this, it was the music or whatever it was.
Right.
And it was very raw. In the early days, it was raw.
Yeah.
It's changed obviously since then, but this idea, I think humans are always like that. I think we'll see some form of perfection, and then the next generation can get away from it. So I think that this is legit. It's a curiosity. It's wild. That's kind of like what's going on in influencer news. And it's out there, and they're doing the dang thing. Anyone would be jealous of having 176,000.
There's a market there, and I think it was smart of them to position her as a gamer. That really plays into the male fantasy of what gamer chicks look like, and they're all about it.
Well, and they're used to artificial women bodies.
That's very true. So this isn't a far cry from what they're looking at already.
In that particular niche, they're looking at, say, for example, this body. In a gaming cutscene, for those who don't know, you finish a mission on a game, and then there's this video that happens, and there's usually very sexy women that come across the screen and move the storyline along, and that's a cutscene. They're very used to. Oh, is that airbrush? Maybe not. Don't care.
Yeah,
she's super hot. I'm fine. Whatever.
What is that term sensationalized or when you're used to desensitized? Okay.
Yeah, desensitized. Yeah. So they're kind of used to it. So you're right. It's probably smart that they didn't start in high fashion,
right?
Where someone's like, "There's nothing wrong with that."
Yeah.
Something to that degree. Interesting. Well, okay. So that's just fun factoids about what's going on with there. But what we're going to be sharing with you today is how. So back up here a little bit. For those who don't know, I just got back from Peru, and I ended up in Machu Picchu in the city of Cusco. Have you ever actually? Has it ever been on your?
Never.
No,
Nope.
not on your list.
I'm
Like, did you
probably
know
a
about Machu Picchu?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did actually. So at some point, I feel like we've talked about going, but it was never like a hard decision.
Mm.
It was just kind of like something that marketing you see in social media, and it's like,
It's like the
oh,
Iceland of Latin America.
right. You go there to like prove to your friends that you can do hard things with this, and so
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. So we ended up, so we went, and today we were looking at these accounts because you guys are here, we compare social media accounts. And I was blown away because I hear a lot about Colombia, and I don't think we've officially
We
profiled
have
Colombia.
yeah.
But we were kind of like, interesting when we were looking at the Colombia accounts. But we came to the Peru account, and let me bring up the Instagram account for Peru. That's not it. Oh, here we go. So we came to the Peru Instagram account, and I was pretty impressed right away.
Well, they have almost 1 million followers, which is more than some of the other profiles that we've looked at.
I think Discover Puerto Rico had significantly less.
Yes.
And it's on the rise. And then we looked at Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica was over 1 million. I don't recall.
I don't remember.
But looking at this account, what starts to jump out to you on why you're liking or not liking the Peru account?
I like that the top 6 have a variety. Like they have landscape, but they also have some messaging and then food. Like gotta have that food in there. So I like that like first grid is pulling you in with some of the essential things that people are going to be attracted to. They are missing a face. I think that they could definitely use. I guess you go grid down, and now you do have people.
There's people in their top 9.
Yeah, top 9,
which matter on mobile more, right?
I wonder how it comes up on mobile. If it's
let's
like the
pull that
top
up.
6,
I'll pull it up.
But it would be great if they had one of those in the top 6 or even top 3, just some face of representing like an influencer or just from a video.
Gotcha. And one thing I noticed while we have this up is they have 2 pinned posts here. And the thing that stood out to me about the pinned post is they're targeting, and I noticed this about LATAM Air, which is Latin American Airlines. And, we talked about maybe even starting to profile some of the airlines, and I think that might be super fun. But LATAM Air, nearly all of their marketing is to Latin America. Like, there's very little English marketing. Their website translates, but this right here, Peru did really good. And it's interesting because they put the Spanish-speaking post first. They prioritized it, and they're targeting all of Latin America or Latin-speaking world.
Right.
And then they threw in the English version here. So it's almost like they're throwing the primary spot, the respect,
right,
to Latin-speaking America, which is huge, and then the gringos, And so I thought that was good. Now let me see here. I'm trying to pull them up right here, and their account is just at Peru. So let's pull that up.
Wow, how'd they get that handle?
That's a pretty good handle.
Yeah.
What do you think they spent on that? Okay, Peru. There we go. Now they have 771,001 followers. Their top 9 faces come up. Where are we at? Faces come up right away, and they're top 9. So it plays out really well on mobile.
Yeah, it's colorful.
It is very colorful.
I like that a lot, and they make it clear that it's their official account, which is great because for some reason a lot of these destinations have like several accounts that either copycat them or people have similar names. So
and like there's an account with a similar name called Visit Peru, and it's only got 45,000 followers. Now I do think it is a miss that they don't have
that might
verified.
be the same.
The Daily Dose of Visual Inspiration. It's a different account.
Yeah.
I think it's a big miss that they don't have verified. Do you think verified really matters that much?
For these destinations, I do. Because there are so many copycat accounts, I do think that extra measure helps somebody stay on the page longer or find them right off the bat. So I think it could help.
Do you think it matters for non-companies?
Like, for example,
Me, verified. Do you think it matters that I'm verified?
I'm not verified.
No?
No.
Hot mod?
No.
Interesting.
No. I just view it as like if I need customer service, I can call them. Isn't that the biggest feature about being verified? If everybody can pay to be verified, then
Interesting.
I don't-
I didn't know I could call customer service.
yeah, that's one of the benefits of paying $14.99 a month.
I didn't know that.
Is you get that was like one of the things.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, is access to their customer service. But if everybody can get it, I think it matters when you're a business or destination. But I don't know if like you're a digital creator, if it's like
So when your tutors and
matters.
boards hire your influencers,
Mm-hmm.
they don't care about the verified.
I do not look for verified.
Interesting.
It's not even on my top radar of anything I'm looking for.
Okay.
But I don't know if other people operate differently. Like, but I've recruited for everything from tourism boards to brands to small businesses, and it's never been in the discussion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is
interesting because I actually haven't even noticed that until now. Like, now you're bringing it up. I'm like, no, we don't check for that.
So what do you think of this messaging? We see that it's obviously Peru's official account. I love the hashtags, Peru, visit Peru, or tag at Peru for a feature.
Do you know why they do that?
Which part?
Put their hashtags in their bio?
I mean, so that people use them?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't a trick question.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah.
But are these good? I mean, Peru's the obvious one. Visit Peru, that's
Yep.
a simple one. It seems like these are obvious.
I think it's very good strategy to have that readily available so that when people are visiting there, like travelers and tourists like when Instagram when they repost their posts, they feel special, they feel excited. So it's a good way to connect with who's in the country at that time too. Kind of like you were tagging along the way on your travels, and you actually ended up having conversations with
a few brands.
Right. Like,
Yeah,
including the
it wasn't
airline,
this,
right?
Including the airline.
Right.
And I tagged them, but it didn't occur to me to tag at Peru or at Visit
Really?
Peru. It did not occur to me.
Anytime you're traveling to another country and you want to show up on their radar as an influencer, you should be tagging them in every story and every post.
Well, and the funny thing about that is when I'm creating a post, like let's say I have a lot of goal setting material. When I create this, I always think like, who can I add in my description?
Right.
So who can I @sign? And I'm like, oh God, there's no one I can really @sign here. The advantage of traveling internationally or traveling anywhere is that you can reference, hey, when I was in Peru, but you
Right.
can do at Peru, and it didn't even occur to me. I was like, hey, visiting Cusco, visiting Peru, and it didn't even occur to me to put @sign
To
Peru.
use their official Instagram.
Yeah, pronouns. I guess
account.
the rule is anytime there's a pronoun in your description, go
Yeah.
find out if
Yeah.
there's an account you could tag.
Do you tag within the post where you like hit the little person button within the picture and then tag? Or do you just tag in your caption?
Well, it depends. Like if we're doing stories or reels, obviously in the captions or descriptions. If we're doing a post, I try to do both.
Okay.
Why? What should I be doing?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do one before the other?
No.
Okay.
You just tag both. You can tag within the picture itself or the image itself and the caption itself, the text.
Yeah, so I have been doing both on post, but I will be remiss, and I think this is advice for anyone posting in social media. The ease of stories and reels, I think, has caused people to post fewer posts. Do you think that's true or not true?
Yes.
And
That's not the only reason though why reels
No?
perform better. So
Well,
if
they're-
you're
they're
in a
bumped in
growth
the
state,
algorithm.
yeah, you want to keep doing reels.
You want to keep doing them, but you also don't want to be negligent of not doing posts.
What if you use pictures over your reels and so you get to accomplish both of those things where you're showing off your photography or whatever? But I get where you're getting at. But if you're trying to grow, you should do reels every day. A reel every day.
How many reels?
I mean, you could do up to 2, 3, 4.
Really?
Yeah,
I struggle to get one out because
totally.
I'm
That's
almost-
normal people's. But hey, if you're an influencer and you're like, I want to grow, I'm going to tell you, like, you need to do maybe do a reel and a post. I mean, it's okay to combine them, but you got to stay on the reel game.
So about that, like when I post, like, and we'll just use Peru as an example.
Yeah.
When Peru does a reel, let's just say number 1, Maido Lima, looks actually really good, or either one of these reels, they come over and they end up on here.
Right.
But I think there's this resistance in me that when I see the thumbnail there, the thumbnail's not always ideal.
Right.
And so, like, is there a way to leave my reel up here, but get rid of it and do a brand new post here?
You can have a reel that doesn't show up on your grid and it only appears under your reels section.
How do you do that?
I have to walk through it to
Okay.
tell you, but there is an option to do that. You don't have to have every reel on your grid.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's been hurting my brain because like I'm like I'll assign a decent thumbnail that's a reel based thumbnail and it looks good in my reel grid. And then it'll come over to the thing and I'm like the framing's off or the text.
Oh, you
is
don't
in.
move it up and down while you're choosing?
I do move it up and down when I'm in reels. But like a vertical the vertical, like if I'm walking down the street, you know, I'm like a long vertical person.
Like when Iris called you out and was like, can you center that? Yeah. You can actually edit the cover photo in the grid itself and move it up and down so you can center it.
What?
Yeah.
No, stop.
I'm going to have to show you after this show.
Hold on.
This is, yes.
So I've got my grid up.
You have to do it during your post though. You can't go back and center it.
Oh, I thought you were telling me I could just
But
open
no,
it.
in the original, no. You can change your cover photo after you've posted your reel.
Yeah.
But you can't center it anymore. You only get that option in the original creations.
Okay,
period.
that I need to see that.
Okay. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about with Peru
Yeah.
is they've been utilizing influencer partnerships and
Yes.
influencer marketing, but they've even done one better, which is they're working with influencers who have either a blog and or a YouTube channel that they've dedicated an episode to, and they've written an article on their blog, and it's just so valuable.
Let's pull that up.
to partner with those creators.
So 2 major points on that real quick and looking at the time. We wanted to compare, so Peru, we have the Peru site up, and then I was curious, like, well, what about Cusco? Because Cusco is a very popular destination. So we Googled Cusco, and the first organic ranked, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff that's non-organic here,
Right.
results, but the first comes from this thing called Salt in Your Hair, and it looked like it wasn't an official thing. So I went to this website, and it turns out that these are influencers.
Right.
Or they started as influencers. And
They're
they-
travel influencers.
They are,
Yeah.
but it looks like they're actually supporting other influencers now, and they have like like we could get into all their different, like they didn't go to all these destinations. Like there's other people that are adding travel.
Okay,
blogs.
so it's like a collective.
It is correct. Yeah, that's
Okay.
a great way to put it. And so, but we found that they have a killer YouTube channel right here with 17,000 subscribers, and they reflect back to it. And they have like really good looking thumbnails, really well selected. I don't even know what their views are at. Let's see. Do they have 90,000 views? 100. I mean, these are not chumps. I mean,
No.
they're doing really good. And then, okay, that's our other guy. Let's get rid of this. So when you saw that, the reason we call this out is, well, 2 points. One that I saw and then one that you saw. One that I saw was that it's interesting to me that Cusco, who probably has budget and probably has bandwidth and probably has popularity to justify its own website, it ended up borrowing the website of just the country.
Well, can I stop you there?
Please.
Peru will feature, just like Visit Central Florida, will feature every parish, town within the county. So
Correct.
Polk County, they're going to have pages for each of those locations. And not only will they, but Visit Florida will have it completely listed like an index. So it's
For the
very,
SEO.
it's very normal for this to be the case, but for it to not
Have its own.
for this to be its only spot and not have its own, like you said, its own Instagram, that is a little off.
Well, I couldn't find its own Instagram.
Okay.
And so yeah, I totally like, especially from a web design perspective, like every realtor has every area listed,
Right.
Visit Central Florida. Like that's great for SEO period because you want someone to stay on your website.
Okay.
And so yes, I assume that's why this page it lives on Peru. But as I Googled, I could not find an official
True.
Cusco page, and that's why I concluded, well, it looks like Cusco is just depending or borrowing this presence, and therefore the next best result was an influencer.
If you actually notice, there's 3 links from 3 different bloggers.
Oh, these top 3.
Yeah. I'm Just Traveling is a blog. Along Dusty Roads is a blog. So
Oh, yes.
they either partnered with them and had them write it about it to add these links and add interest, or these creators went there and did it all on their own because they're documenting it. But I'm going to lean towards they probably had some kind of partnership because it's pretty specific, like 18 really useful things to know before you visit Cusco. I feel like that's a lot of keywords there.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems pretty crafted. And they've got some backlinks. And I'm trying to see if they have an official link. Nope, they don't have an official link back to like Cusco or Visit Peru. But,
Okay.
at least not so far. It is super long form. It looks really good. They're dealing with...
Hold on, here we go. There's some links to...
These are... Like,
These are, okay, highlighting some of the places there, an animal.
High-low
Okay, so maybe this was more organic. I don't know. Keep reading. What was that one? What things cost in Peru? So that's another link within their website, though.
Yeah, that's referencing another article of their own. Cusco Day Trip, that's linking their own article.
Yeah.
Man, this is super long form.
They went a lot of SEO on
Airbnb.
this.
Now, chances are they could have... There's Airbnb. That looks like an affiliate link of some kind.
Okay.
So now they're getting into affiliate links.
Okay.
Uber, there might be... Oh, and they're hitting the vegetarian scene. Man.
Wow, this is long.
This is...
Oh, and there's some Machu Picchu stuff. What you need to know. All more links to their...
That's to their own. That's another post of their own. That's nutty.
Sometimes they'll say at the bottom that something was sponsored or...
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but we can't seem to get to the bottom of this thing.
Okay, here we go. This is the forever post. So let's see how they end. It's a very safe... That's it. They just end with... It's a safe and that's another article of their own, and they don't say it was sponsored. So to our knowledge... This was not a sponsored post. But this, to me, is just SEO heaven. Like, whether or not I can't even tell if they actually visited as much as created a search engine optimized post. But to your point about blogging, and influencers should be paying attention to blogging. Because even if you make a trip... Hello? There we go. It's not going. There we go. If you make a trip and write an article... Like, if you're going to bother posting on Instagram about it... As an influencer, you don't have to do something that long.
Right.
But you could still create a mini guide.
You could.
You know? And you could even pull it from your...
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a travel influencer, everything is a opportunity to create a resource so that people want to go and follow you. But why not have a blog? If you're traveling, I always suggest have some kind of blog because it does not need to be as long as that. They've obviously been blogging for a while and they have multiple articles to reference. So
well, and this makes me think. You know, we talked and riffed a little bit about. Well, is there any potential for me to be like an entrepreneur travel influencer?
Right.
You know, it's like that's a lot going on there. But you know, when I did the Colombia thing or whatever it is, you know, what it makes me think is, I should go back through my Instagram post. Click the guides, add guides, and just select my posts from that trip and then maybe add on to it or modify it or upgrade it a little bit. And now I've got that guide. And if you've got that guide, now you have the framework for a blog.
Yeah, you pretty much created a guide with all of your posts. Like, these are the best places to eat. This is where to get the chocolate.
Where to get the chocolate.
Yeah.
And we were tasting some pineapple chocolate.
Yeah. That's Colombia.
Yeah, Jinx.
Colombia has some great chocolate. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? So what did we learn? Let's summarize for folks.
Okay.
It's almost 12:30. What did you take away from observing Peru? So high-level stuff. They're doing everything great, so what can the public learn from Peru, I guess?
The public can learn that... And I'm just impressed with them because it's one of the first ones I've seen that's really leaning into influencer marketing. Okay. And it looks like it's some of their more fun content as that ends up being, and high performing. Yeah. At least a couple of them. Yeah, a couple of them are. Yeah. But I feel like they have a really good grip on what they have to offer, and it shows through their social media. But I also really like their website and how much they're promoting the other towns and really just tourism as a whole to Peru. So
this is prompting me to actually do a little bit more homework, because for some reason Colombia, in my mind, if someone said, are there more travelers to Peru or Colombia? Right. I don't know why I've thought this, but in the back of my mind I've been thinking more travelers go to Colombia. And I don't know, this is because my buddy Jared, who watches now and again, and you know, we haven't even been watching the comments here.
Jeez.
Oh, shoot. People have been commenting. Oh, there he is right there. Jared, I'm so sorry. Jared's like, they're ignoring me.
Oh, man. Audio is kind of funky.
Oh, great. No. Audio is kind of funky. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. Thanks for letting us know.
Maybe I was hitting the wire. Does that happen?
I don't know. We'll analyze it later. But thanks for that, Jared. Sorry we didn't get to your comments. But
Reels engagement has dropped off.
which is interesting, maybe for him. And now he's a content creator around cryptocurrency and some crypto tourism. So like
Right.
he's in Bogota and does a lot of stuff from his penthouse. He performs almost monthly or speaks almost monthly at crypto conferences. I came in with Jarrett in Colombia. And so he pays very close attention to his engagement. Now, Jarrett, we could even look at your stuff at some point. I don't know if that just means it's time to change the format
Right.
of what you're doing or what. But that could be maybe you're hitting the limit of your reach right now and we have to penetrate new reach somehow. I don't know. Do you have any advice for someone who's real engagement?
Yeah, look who you can collab and tag with, and look at your hashtag strategy.
Collab. You know, this is one thing, Jarrett, that I don't see often with you. I don't often see, and let's get rid of this other screen real quick. I don't often see with Jarrett's account. Jarrett is the talking head. He's
Right.
he's the authority for crypto, and now he's becoming the authority for crypto in Bogota. I don't see collabs often, Jarrett. And when we think about reach, there's this growth that happens. Like if you were to move to a new town, we start at the coffee shop, we meet all
Right.
the coffee workers, then we meet their friends, and then we meet everyone in the downtown. And it's like, okay, we've met all these people, but no matter how hard you try, there does come a moment when your reach in that example has hit its max.
Right.
And then it's like, well, now you need a collab. Now one of those coffee shop people, you know, what else do you do? I do jujitsu, or I go to YMCA and do
Yeah.
fitness stuff. Can I come with you?
Yeah.
And when you make that reach, now you've opened up a whole new group.
So you just tag along with people?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's what tagging and
No,
collabs
well,
can
I was
be.
actually thinking more like wherever you go in town or whatever brand or business you're talking about, you just tag them whether or not you're hanging out with them or not.
Oh, I don't mean hanging out in real life. I
Okay.
just meant metaphorically.
But yeah.
That's what's going on when
Yeah.
you tag them, when you do a collab.
Yeah.
You're basically doing the same thing this Joker's doing, tagging along to people to the YMCA.
We're best friends.
Although you could, he hangs out with a vegetarian restaurant in.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. and
That
tagging
place
them.
looked good.
Yeah, yeah. Last thing, ensuring that real thumbnails work on both Reels feed and main IG feed is key in his opinion. Totally agree, but Nicole's going to give me some tips on how to drag and position that reel.
So easy.
Yeah, I have never seen that.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of people have it.
Sorry, we didn't get to your questions, share till later. Sorry if the audio is completely funky. Check, check. We'll see. And that's it for today's show. Hopefully we have Niki or Gabby
Yeah.
next week on with us. And good luck with everything. And this has been
HotSpark.
HotSpark.